Hey everyone, today we are opening 160 packs of Mega Evolution. This is part of the wider series where I open 40 Mega Charizard UPCs and I'm ripping all the packs now. Last video I did 160 packs of Phantasmal Flames and sadly we got cooked. We didn't get a single SIR out of 160 packs. And also the video was almost 50 minutes long, which is a little too long for my taste. So we're going instant degen mode and ripping through the packs. And hopefully today we will do a lot better because we need it to hit our goals. But first secret rare out of pack number 2, it's not too bad. Damn. But we kind of had this last time as well, where we did very well on the kind of all the lower value secret rares, but got absolutely cooked on all the stuff that would move the needle. Okay. We are getting some love. 4 packs in, 3 secret rares. So I mentioned this, well, plenty last video as well, but these are all UPC packs, right? So there's 4 packs in every box. And it's not like a booster box or anything where it's kind of seeded. We could literally get everything. We could get like 5 SIRs, we could get 0. Unfortunately, last time we got the 0. But Mega has a lot of, it has a lot of better like valuable card distribution. So there's like 8 or so cards in Mega Evolution that are, good pulls. Whereas in Phantasmal, you're really just chasing the 2 Charizards. And otherwise, it's just tough luck. I mean, there's a lot of cool cards in there, but we are also looking for financial value. Because that's kind of the point of the challenge, to see if we can make money or break even when we have purchased stuff at like, crazy scalper prices in today's crazy market. In the first video of the series, I unboxed all the Mega Charizard UPCs. And I showed that I had like 2 boxes full of playmats and dice and the deck boxes, the sleeves, and the coins. And I was a little worried how I was going to sell all of those accessories. But I put them up on Card Market, which is where I do most of my Pokemon selling. And I got a guy that runs like a accessory outlet kind of store thing. And he wanted the whole shebang, obviously at a discount, but hey. It allowed me to move all the accessories in one go, which I'm very, very happy with. And then I put it in a big box and carried it to the post office. And when they weighed it in, it was 22 kilos, which is around, almost 50 pounds. So that explained why I had to stop like 4 or 5 times on the way there to catch my breath. But yeah, that is a kind of lovely first sale. And I've managed to sell a bunch. I sold all of the promo Charizards already. And a good chunk of the promo Oricorios. I think like half. And these were all the cards that I'm not sending in to get graded, right? So, I mean, they were super clean, no damage, but basically, in my opinion, too off-centered to get a 10. But they were still pretty popular. So I have a few Oricorios left to sell. And I put up the code cards, but I think I only sold 4. out of 40, but we'll see. You know, there's no rush on those. It'll be 3 to 4 months until we get our PSA submission back. So basically that's the amount of time I have to sell the singles and the code cards and, you know, see how we do. And right now, I want to aim for like 4 to 5 packs a minute, opening wise. See if we can get this down to, well, at least a whole lot better than 50 minutes. That would be nice. And normally, like, you know, I'm not like a professional or anything, right? Like, I sell Pokemon cards as a hobby. And, hey. Like, all the packages I normally bring to the post office are really kind of small and cute. I mean, that's the nice thing about Pokemon as a hobby, at least when you're reselling stuff. That it doesn't take up that much space, or it's all small packages. You know, it's easy to do a couple orders and then basically just fits into the pocket of my coat when I'm taking orders to the post office. But not this time. This time it was a huge box. All right, number 3. I've put the camera at the autofocus, which means that when I open a pack, it focuses there. And when I move my hands out of frame, then you can kind of see the, you know, the gallery of hits. But if it's annoying or if it's jittery, then let me know and I can see if I can change that. If anyone's watching anyway. This is mostly an exercise in me getting a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera and kind of talking away. I don't know why it's so kind of cringe to do. I mean, I've had plenty of experience, you know, through work or other things in public speaking or in making content or appearing on podcasts or interviews or these kind of things. But then when you kind of decide to do these things for yourself, you're like, hey, let's open some Pokemon cards. Then it just becomes so cringe. Damn. Well, it's not. We're doing pretty well. We're getting all the non-SIR megas are coming in nicely. We are obviously chasing the golden Lucario Gardevoir, the Lucario Gardevoir SIRs. I think it's the Venusaur as well, as a big boy. The Latias. And I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2. I think it was like 8 cards that were really worth pulling. Right? Crap, I'm ruining the integrity of my own display. There we go. Hopefully we don't get too many of these trainer cards. Hey, there we go. Our first SIR out of a whole lot of packs. Well, not that much Mega Evolution yet, but a lot of total UPC packs. Awesome. Well, let's get many more today. How is the centering? Left, right is good, but it's bottom heavy. So I'm afraid this very, very likely won't be a 10. But I'll double check it when I'm not recording to see if I think that it might be worth sending in. But first glance, 9. And then especially with these SIRs that aren't like the top chases, then a 9 is basically, there's no added value in that compared to raw. Maybe a little bit, but typically, in a dream world, a 9 would be at least like, $30 more expensive than a raw card. So that when you send in a fresh pool like this, you can be pretty confident that it will at least get a 9, unless there's, something obviously wrong with it. So if there's like at least 25 to $30 upside from a raw to a 9, then it's kind of a free attempt at a 10, right? So if it 10s, then great, and if it 9s, then you kind of break even. You get the cost of grading back. But especially with modern sets, because there's so much that's pooled, and the real value is in 10s, because there's just so many that get graded. That people don't want a 9. So then you kind of lose the grading cost, because a 9 is essentially just exactly the same price point as a good raw card. And in these scenarios, I think these kind of long shots are, normally not worth it. Especially now with the stricter grading. PSA moved their 10 criteria from a 60-40 centering. So that means that 60%, if it's 60% of a border on the left and 40% on the right, then it used to be a 10. And now it's 55-45. So it's twice as strict, or more than twice as strict even. So yeah, you need to be pretty certain of what you're sending in. There's no, and that's by design, right? They're probably getting flooded with kind of edge case 10s. And they want to reduce that. Well, we're already doing so much better than on Phantasmal. And we're maybe a third of the way in. Maybe a little more, but we have a lot left to go. So that is already great. And another Wally. I mean, as far as trainer cards go, these kind of Wally and Lieutenant Surge type cards are still pretty cool, right? It's more these cards like the Puffin that we just had that are just, bad. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is also to just get a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more comfortable behind the camera. And also just to look a little bit what kind of, tone of voice I want to go for. Like I have, I watch a lot of the Pokemon channels on YouTube. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but a lot of it is just aimed at kids. And also with a very kind of child, or at least a more nerdy aesthetic. And it's just not really my cup of tea to, these dark basement rooms with IKEA cabinets full of Funko Pops and purple LED sticks. Like it's, I feel like it's 80% of the backgrounds that I see. And I'm not saying that my background is absolutely legendary, but I want to try at least to do something a little bit more well, aesthetically pleasing, adult, or just different, whatever you wanna name it. And it's also with regards to tone of voice. Like, I'm just not going to be like super fake hyped or screaming my ass off at every mediocre pool. I don't know. It's just tiring and fake. And for me, it only diminishes the hobby. It makes me not want to watch those channels. But I also understand that, maybe watching a guy monotonously ramble for an hour is also not what people are here for. So there's probably a tone of voice somewhere in the middle, right? Between kind of genuine excitement and, just being an authentic, actual adult doing these things. But I'll have to find it. And it might take a while. But that's fine. That is fine. And now I'm doing a lot of rippage because of the idea of the 40 Mega Charizard UPC Series. But I'm also not sure that that's the direction I would like to go in. Doing a nice degenerate ripping sesh every once in a while is great. But the way I'm ripping packs now is not the it's not the way I love to do it, right? Like I'm taking zero time to appreciate any of the other cards. I'm just looking for value. And it's a little detrimental, right? Hey, little detrimental to how the hobby should be approached, or at least how it can also be approached. That's not just about quantity and chasing hits, but there's a lot of fun to be had, even opening a couple packs slowly and really enjoying every card. But then this video would be 75 hours long. So I can't do that. And I could make like a montage or something, but I don't know. I've tried these montage things in the past, but then you always end up basically being silent because you never know which pieces are going to go in. And then you have to do a voiceover, and it's just hard to get into a, nice vibe kind of flow. When doing these kind of things, it becomes a lot more produced. And I think one of the charms of these kinds of channels is that you could just put these kind of videos on in the back while you do other stuff, and just kind of hang out. And when you make something that you really produce, then it should be a lot shorter, and then these things are more important, right? That you have concrete or snappy, nice storytelling and something that justifies people watching it with their full attention, basically. And it is a little bit kind of also the direction where I want to go. Like doing stuff like this every so often sounds like great fun. I want to do a lot more travel. There's this lane of people buying cards in Japan, and it's mainly the British kind of Pokemon vendor guys doing it. And I always like to see those videos because I'm always interested in kind of what are the prices doing there, or I personally collect a lot of the old vintage Japanese stuff, so I want to see what these stores are selling and these kind of things. But there's also so much opportunity still there to make interesting videos about finding niche stores or talking to these store owners or to collectors there, and really also bridge the cultural gap a little bit, if you will. And that's definitely not being done right now. I mean, these guys are just in cabs and they know 2 words of Japanese, and it's all Pokemon hauls, which is also great fun, don't get me wrong. And I'm not intending to throw any shade, but I would love to make that one of the kind of cornerstones of the channel if I get the opportunity to travel and visit a lot of Pokemon card shops abroad, or just card shops in general. Then I have some ideas also for like produced videos, just more interesting standalone stuff, shorter videos that, you know, that actually tell a story. I think there's a lot of room for that in Pokemon specifically. But it's tricky. We'll see also what people, you know, like to see or want to see. Like I see a lot of these kind of binder challenges or high energy shorts, and I can see the appeal of them. I mean, I've also watched some of these videos myself, and they can be very well done. But I think I would just get burnt out very quickly making them, because it's essentially the same thing every time. Whereas you can argue that this is the same every time as well, but, you know, this is more of a kind of hangout. And I can talk about whatever I want, and that's what'll make it different every time. Yeah, and also a little bit of kind of business tag along, right? So I started on Card Market a few months ago, and I think I've done like 200 sales now. The first couple of videos on my channel are also giving some Card Market tips. I didn't want to put my face on any of them. So I definitely think that made them a bit less interesting, because you're only seeing the, you know, Card Market interface. So I'm thinking of kind of redoing that into a slightly more watchable version when I had like 200 or 250 sales. Because I think, you know, whenever people start these journeys from scratch, then following them along and learning from people's mistakes, that's always fun to watch, at least for me. And I have quite a bit of business experience, but, you know, not in Pokemon or gaming specifically. And I'm also trying to approach it as a hobby and not businessify it straight out of the gate and turn it into a job. But I obviously, you know, cannot turn that part of my brain off indefinitely. So there's always going to be things that I notice or want to try or want to have fun with. Yeah, might be interesting to tag along for that. But yeah, we'll see. I still have to kind of also reconcile this whole idea of wanting to do something creative on YouTube with, I don't know, optics or perception, or at least the voices in my head with regards to those topics. I told one of my friends that I was doing this, and he said, so you want to become an influencer? And the cringe is so real for that, you know. And no, definitely not. Obviously, I definitely want to do something creative and create an outlet for that. And it's always fun if people end up watching it, at least at some point. Like for the first whatever amount of videos, I don't think I care much. But there's probably going to be a point somewhere along the line where I'm really proud of something that I made. And then I can imagine wanting people to see it. Yeah, we'll see when we get there. Right now, I don't really care. I just want to get better at making the videos and getting more comfortable, more authentic, and have fun. And, you know, learning how to edit and make a thumbnail or create some cool shots. You know, just get the basics right. And once I start to feel proud of what I'm making, and thereby a little bit more frustrated that almost nobody watches, then I can see myself doing a little bit of promotion, right? Maybe become active in some kind of Pokemon communities or promote the videos a bit or do something on social. But yeah, it's definitely not my forte to, you know, these kind of marketing things. So I'll do them when the urge becomes strong enough for people to watch my stuff. And for now, I just want to focus on, you know, the basics, like I said, and also having fun with it first before it turns into a job. Hey, a new phase, finally. I think we've got about 40 packs left. So we're about 3/4 of the way in. We're still only on one SIR. We pull a bunch of other good cards. But it would be great if we can get one more SIR. And ideally one that's clean enough to grade. Because currently, every time that we open a bunch of packs so far, we are definitely losing out on a shit ton of value compared to just selling the packs. And I understand that that's by design, right? It's Pokemon card gambling and the house always wins. But for the sake of our little challenge, it would be good if we can beat the house. Or at least come really close to it. And also because I want to add a couple of cool cards to the grading pile. And ideally send in a lot more than just the promos. And right now I'm not sure if we have anything sending in, worth sending in besides the promos. Oh. But yeah, if you're watching this by any chance, and that is a big if, because you'd have to find my super new channel and make it to this point, and you have a strong opinion on what you want to see in a Pokemon channel, then feel free to drop a comment, and I'll definitely check it out. One of the things that I want to do, well, after I get these ripping videos out, is to, you know, tour my current collection a little bit. Like, I'm heavily into the old Japanese vending cards, and then specifically Cardass and Tapson. I just love their kind of, this 90s OG Pokemon aesthetic. And I realize that they are not official TCG, but I don't know. They're like Pokemon's rookie cards, right? And I have a raw binder that's almost complete. And then my stretch goal would be to start PSA 10ing these sets. But it would have to obviously be one at a time, because they are big sets and these are rare cards and 10s are expensive. But that could be a good focus point of the trips to Japan, to find, to hunt for good raw copies of these cards. See how many we can get ourselves by grading them ourselves. Then at some point I'm sure I'd have to buy a couple as well, but hey, cross that bridge when we get there. I'd say we've got a bit over 20 packs left, maybe 25-ish. Definitely doing a lot better on time. I see I'm recording for about 30 minutes now. So it is at a complete degenerate pace. But hey, it's paying off. But I'm not sure what the pull rates are for Mega, but if they're similar to Phantasmal, then it's one SIR in every 80-ish packs. Some say 72, some say 80. So you would expect to get 2 out of our current session. And currently we've got 1, so I am open to getting a bunch more. I'm gonna wait with, listing all of the cards for sale, all of the, the singles until I've pulled everything. So I have 2 more pool sessions to go. One of all the Destined Rivals packs, which is also 160. And one of all the Journey Together packs, which is 240 packs. So I have to see how I do those, because part of me wants to do it in 2 parts. Because 240 packs is, well, it's really a lot. That will, even if I go at crazy speed, that will be an hour-long video. But it's also Journey Together. It's not like there's a crazy amount of interesting hits. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe just do it 2 parts. And then I want to be able to show basically everything that we got before putting it up for sale, because I know singles like these will go quite quickly. So if I'm already listing stuff now, then half of that I think will have sold by the time I would have been able to show you the haul. And I think it's fun to see, everything that we got from such a big amount of packs. And it's 720 packs out of 40 UPCs, so that's 20 booster boxes worth of pulls. The way it's going, we're completely getting cooked compared to the pack value. But hey, Destined Rivals might save us, right? I mean, Journey Together won't save us unless we get like 20 of Lily's Clefairy. But who knows? Destined Rivals has also a lot of heavy hitters. Let me show you the remaining stack kind of on the edge of the screen. Normal EX again. I do love this. I already told you in the last video, I really like this kind of yellow golden lettering. I think it makes the normal EXs look super good. And at least here from Mega, they've all got it, all the normal EXs. Whereas in Phantasmal, you had a bunch of the Empoleon and Rotom, and I think 1 or 2 more that have the kind of regular EX lettering. And it just looks so much worse compared to the Mega style EXs. And especially when they're both in the same set, right? It becomes quite glaring. How many packs left? 7. Come on, baby. 6. And again, I think we're doing reasonably well with regards to overall hits, but we are underperforming again in the SIR department. Okay. Last pack magic. Number 160. Sad face. All right, let me top load all of these and then I'll show you the results. All right. I sorted all of our hits. This is the pile of normal EXs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 normal EXs. And then the secret rares, the gold stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 32, 18 is 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And the single SIR 16. 66 hits out of 160 packs. So that's not too bad. You know, if you're if you use the 1 in 3 kind of most commonly accepted average hit rate when you include regular EXs, then we should have had like 53 hits. And we've got 66, but sadly only 1 SIR. So yeah, that will hurt us quite a bit. But still, a lot better performance than Phantasmal. So if we keep up the, you know, the positive trend, then Destined Rivals is going to bring us completely back into this game. So yeah, I'll see you for that one. Thanks for making it this far, and have a good day. Bye-bye.